Welcome back to UK Knowledge Guru. In today's video, we will learn how to check if you can get ILR, Indefinite Leave to Remain. So let's learn what is ILR. Indefinite leave to remain is how you settle in the UK. It also called settlement. It gives you the right to live, work and study in the UK as long as you like and apply for benefits as well. You can use it to apply for British citizenship. If you or your family member are an EU, EEA or Swiss citizen, you may be able to settle status under the EU settlement scheme. Now let's understand if you work in the UK. So for example, skilled worker visa and all these visas. You may be able to apply if you work in the UK. You must usually live and work in the UK for 5 years. Before you apply, it must be 5 years, but not for every case. If you have a tier 1 visa, it can be 2 or 3 years. If you have an innovator founder visa or a global talent visa, it can be 3 years. You may also need to meet the salary requirements for this kind of a visa as well. How you apply depend on whether you have a tier 2 sports person or a skilled worker visa, or you have a scale up worker visa. You have a global talent tier 1 entrepreneur or investor visa. You have an innovator founder visa. You have represented an overseas business, or you have a Turkish worker or business person visa, or you are a private servant in a diplomatic household with the international agreement, or a domestic worker. Let me discuss the domestic worker visa in detail. Overseas domestic worker can also apply ILR, indefinite leave to remain. So if I go on gov.uk website and I click eligibility, documents apply from outside. So if I click eligibility, I can see the eligibility of the visa. And if I wanted to know more about it, like how to extend or you applied before, so it clearly says that extend or settle if you applied before April 2012. It clearly gives you the instructions over here. It says apply to settle permanently in the UK after 5 years. So if anyone had this visa or currently got this visa, can apply for ILR as well. Now let's discuss if you have a family in the UK. So for example, spouse visa. So you may be able to apply if you have a partner, parent or child or other relative settled in the UK, either as a British citizen or a person with indefinite leave to remain. There are other ways to apply if your partner has died or you have a relationship ended because of domestic violence. Now let's discuss indefinite leave to remain or enter as a domestic violence or abuse. In that case, how to apply that. So if I go on gov.uk website, it clearly says you may be able to apply for permission to settle in the UK permanently if your relationship has broken down because of domestic violence or abuse. Domestic violence and abuse can be emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, or financial. It includes threatening or controlling behavior to try to harm, isolate, or frighten someone. Permission to settle in the UK is sometimes called settlement, which we have already discussed. Now, if we go permission to settle gives you the right to live, like you can do anything, you can also claim benefits. Now, let's see when to apply. Apply for permission to settle in the UK as soon as possible after relationship breaks down. If you have a current visa, do not wait to expire. You can apply to settle from inside the UK or apply from outside the UK as well. Fees and how long it takes. The application is £2,885 per person. I know it's a bit too much, but this is a technical kind of a visa which really helps. Unless you do not have enough money to support yourself, you can also get the benefits on it. You can also apply and include children as well. Okay, if you do not have money, you can ask government to take that off for you. If you are in the UK and need supporting while waiting for a decision, you can apply for migrant victim of domestic abuse concession. This is the application form. I'll put this link in the description as well, so you can directly get that. Now let's see the eligibility of it. So whether you can get permission to settle in the UK, your current immigration status, how your relationship broken down, your immigration status. Your current immigration status usually must be based on your relationship with your partner. Your partner must be one of the following. So for example, you got married with a British citizen or someone who had the ILR and something goes wrong. In that case, you have a pre-settled status. So for example, if you have a pre-settled status, you can apply if your relationship has broken down permanently because of domestic abuse or violence. as a spouse or partner. So for example, you got married, you came to UK and something wrong went, and if you apply for the domestic violence and all that, and you apply for this visa, then based on the retained right of residence, because you have a spouse, civil partner or unmarried partner who's living with you in UK by December 2020. How the relationship broken down, that's all the details over here. Now apply from inside, you can apply from inside as well. If you click on this link, you can apply from inside. If you wanted to apply from outside, in that case you click on the form and you can complete that. This is the link for apply from outside. Now let's understand, if you have lived in the UK for 10 years, how to get that ILR. You may be able to apply if you have lived here in the UK for more than 10 years. There are different ways to apply if you have a visa that is on the basis of your private life. There's a complete guide on my channel, how to apply UK private life visa. In this guide, I have discussed how to apply this visa, what is the eligibility criteria, and how to apply ILR. Now let's understand, if you are a Commonwealth citizen. In that case, you can apply for ILR if you have been living in the UK for 5 years on a UK ancestry visa. Now let's learn what is UK ancestry visa. UK ancestry visa is if you applying for the ILR, for example, apply for indefinite leave to remain. You may be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain if you have spent 5 years in the UK on this visa. The eligibility criteria is you have enough money to support yourself and your dependent. You can and plan to work in the UK. You are still Commonwealth citizen. Knowledge of language in the UK. If you are 18 and up to 64, you'll need to provide the English language, which we call that IELTS, and you need to book and pass the life in UK test. Some Commonwealth citizens have a right to abode. In the UK, this means that you can live or work in the UK without immigration restriction. You may have the eligible for citizenship instead, for example, applying under the Windrush scheme. Let's discuss other ways to apply for ILR. You may be eligible for ILR if you are a refugee or have humanitarian protection. You are returning to the UK, have previously had indefinite leave to remain. Sometimes people don't apply for passport, they leave the UK, they start working somewhere else, but they come back. In that case, you can apply. Served in the armed forces. Otherwise, you can get advice about staying in the UK on the Citizen Advice website. Let's discuss this. If you go on www.citizenadvice.org.uk, get specialist immigration advice. If you click on that, it will take you to the page where it will guide you what is your options. It's a free service. Anyone can get advice from them. If your problem is complicated, you can ask for immigration advisor, or you can ask direct another organization or the solicitor. Before you get specialist immigration advice, you can ask them all the questions which they can guide you. So this is one of the best option if you are struggling in the UK about getting advice.